Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up, some special guests here in the studio. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Looks at a high today of 87, a low of 77, and a water temperature of 88. So that's easy numbers to remember. That water temperature has stayed around 88 now. Just about a second week it's done that. So solid, warm water throughout the right offshore there. Some really nice mahi was caught over the weekend. So make sure if you get a chance to get out there to take advantage of that warm water out there. But go ahead and be aware of this thunderstorm. Speaking of thunderstorms, we've got about a 20% chance. And let's take a look at our river readings, okay, on the screen there. Looking at the Apalachicola at Bluntstown, it's right at 2 foot. It has not moved. It's been like that now for a couple of weeks, between 1.9 and 2 foot. But the Choctawhatchee at Caryville got a little bit of drop coming on. It's going to drop out now. It actually got to 6 foot over the weekend. It's falling water. If you like to go catfishing, this next couple of days be an excellent chance to go and set up those trot lines. Got a little bit of falling water on the Choctawhatchee. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We talked about this yesterday. We're on neap tides for the next couple of days. Not a lot of tidal movement, but these thunderstorms a lot of times get the water stirred up and oxygenated, and really always good to fish after these thunderstorms come through. The fish are always a little active. So remember those little tips on them, okay? Take a look at our marine forecast. We're looking at south-southeast at about 5 to 10. All right, let's take our break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, folks, and welcome to our guest this morning. On the far end, you recognize Commissioner Bill Dozier. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning.
Glad to have you.
Glad to be here.
New guy right here, Scott Jackson.
Good morning.
Scott, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
We go back several years now. Scott works with the University of Florida Extension Agent, and he came out to Mosley at Outdoor Ed and helped us a lot with the grasses and all, and good to see you again.
Good to see you, sir.
All right, so let's get started. It's going to tie in with yesterday's show where we had Kenny Foster coming on talking about getting the jetties shored up and all, and we started talking about restore money. And Bill Dozier was gracious enough to come on this morning and talk about some things, and we're going to we'll go straight to the horse's mouth with the county commissioner. And Bill, what's been going on, buddy?
Well, I just want to talk a little bit this morning about part one of Restore. Part one is the first part we're receiving, and it's just funds that we're able to put towards projects, local projects here in Bay County. So what we've done, we've gone through a long process, and they've all been boiled down to 15 different projects. And out of those projects, I thought there's 3 of them on the list. There's a number of projects, 3 of them on the list I thought might be interesting to outdoorsmen. One of them is the artificial reefs. Mm-hmm. Another one is the Carl Gray boat ramp. And a third one is is the experimental, third one is the East Pass. Okay. And what that is these 3 projects are just 3 projects out of 15 on the possible restore list.
Okay. And that is 3 really good ones going to help outdoorsmen. We'll talk about them one at a time, but we're going to start it back in on the East Pass. Or the old pass, we call it. We know we got pictures of it. We're going to show you some pictures in a little bit, but we know the importance of it and flushing it out. So that's a great area to go to.
It is, and there's one thing I want to say also. There's a 45-day comment period. Right now is the time for people who are interested in any of these projects on the list, any of the 15, to contact the county and let us know of what your desire is. Let us know which projects you support and what you would like to see happen with these projects. The way to contact us would be to go to the county website, which is baycountyflorida.gov, and there's a restore area. You can click on Restore Act. Mm-hmm. Click on that. That'll walk you through all the processes, whatever you need to do to get your comments in.
Okay, the other one, the Carl Gray boat ramp. Man, that has been. First of all, the location is so important. That's a great location.
That's right.
But it's been tough. Now you're an outdoorsman too, so what do you enjoy doing?
I like to kayak and fish some.
And I got to give you a background real quick on Scott. Now he's a Texas A&M graduate, but we got him working for the University of Florida right now, so he still stayed in the SEC. So
We enjoy being there too. Looking
I know
forward to
it.
it.
Does a great job with extension agent, so they're tied in working with him on the, and we're going to get to him in a second. But get him out of Cargray Park.
Okay.
We're going to make it actually usable now, hopefully.
Yeah, this is a project that was put on a list by Panama City. It's their request, and they're asking for funds to go in there and improve the whole boat ramp, the whole area there for parking, for the launching of boats, and they have a plan that's really going to make it nice. And that boat ramp is right now it's hard to use it because of all of the work that needs to be done to it.
Yeah, it's tough right now. A lot of people sort of bottom out and everything, but they and everybody knows it's in bad shape. But now we got a plan to hopefully get it done.
But that's right.
That's great.
You know, as these projects move forward, hopefully that might be one that does pass through. And a lot of it depends on the comments that are made in the next 45 days from people.
Okay.
And so it's important that people comment if they're in favor of it.
And we're going to talk about that too, as you as viewers, how we can really give some good positive feedback on some of the things going to help the total outdoor community. So we're excited about that. Right. Now, we're going to get ready after the break and talk about the structures and all we're going to be putting out there. And you as an outdoorsman, I know you studied habitat and all in college.
Ecology, yes sir.
Ecology, got a great background. Like I said, I've known him a while. How important is structure to fish?
Absolutely important, you know, and that's important to the fishermen too, you know, because they can also find that structure a little bit easier, but it is important to have structure for our fish to do what they need to do to complete their life cycles and be a productive part of what we're trying to enhance.
And we've talked about that. It could go from a farm pond structure or to a Gulf of Mexico structure.
Absolutely, all different kinds of stuff inland as far as you know, structure that we put into some of our private lakes and you know, some of the fishing management that we do there too.
I get tickled at some of the old timers around my dad's generation. They would take tree limbs, big tree limbs, and they're way ahead of their time. They didn't have ecology background. But they knew if they put that tree limb out there in that pond, that little brim will be around.
Those Christmas trees that you don't put any flock on or anything else that are natural, those make really good brim reefs and those types of things too.
Yeah, that's good. We're going to take a break and we'll come back and talk about some of this. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. Sitting here with County Commissioner Bill Dozier and Extension Agent Scott Jackson from the University of Florida Extension Agency, and we appreciate y'all coming on the show this morning.
Glad to be here.
Good to be here.
Bill told me a while back he watched the show and all, run into him, and he's just always good about keeping us informed as outdoorsmen. So we really do appreciate that. Now, we've got a picture here, this restore picture. So let's talk about this, guys. What about this one right here?
That is some of the materials that we've been collecting and have collected over the last 2 years or so. It's material that was provided by Hanson Pipe, and the county worked to support and bring this pipe in a staging area at our Roads and Bridges site near Majet. And that's probably close to 1,000 tons of concrete that we're going to be able to use in our restore project. We were able to work with planning and zoning and the Board of County Commissioners and also our folks at GIS, and we'll see some pictures later on of those people in the field. But this project is going to be able to put out somewhere between 7 and 8 quarter-mile sites in state waters where our outdoorsmen and our fishermen and our divers can utilize that site and use that to enhance some of our fishing resources in the county.
And how deep do you think we'll have these? You have any idea?
Yeah, sure. It's probably going to be in the neighborhood of around 70 to 100 feet.
Okay, cool. And you can see those little fish swimming in there, those big fish chasing them out and all that. So, all right, our next picture right here, this is one of the reefs. Who are these? These group of people right here. They look familiar.
Yeah, they do. Of course, you have Commissioner Dozier there on the far right, Valerie Sale, who's our Public Information Officer, myself there beside Alan Golden. Alan is in Planning and Zoning, and it just gives you a good idea of the types of team work that we have in the county and the different divisions that are involved. As I said before, we have Planning and Zoning, Purchasing Department. All those people are involved. This is our Super Reef project that we just completed back in May. And so this is a picture at the city marina. And the reefs that are there are you know, tremendously tall, you know,
Yeah.
somewhere in the neighborhood of 18 to 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
The top portion there, those discs that are layered on top of one another,
Yeah.
those are what we call ecosystem reefs, and promote small fish, some of our smaller species of fish like black sea bass and those types of things. So if you target the top part of that, then you might catch a different fish if your cooler's full of snapper, or you've already caught your limit, or they're not in season.
That's right.
And so it gives you a good variety there that supports all different parts of the ecosystem, and is really something really neat to dive on and look at too if you're not fishing. Should hold plenty of amberjack and some of the other
That's
larger
awesome.
fish.
Okay. And we're deploying them right here?
Yeah, that was on a Saturday. Sometimes when we're doing these projects, it takes nearly, you know, a week or so to get them out, especially on these large reefs. This is the first time that these were deployed in our part of the county in Panama City Beach. These are 3 nautical miles south of the city pier, right outside of Pier Park.
Yeah, you can see the old shoreline there.
Yeah, certainly can. And there's another project that's complementary to that we did a few years ago with Florida Fish and Wildlife, and they supported this project too. This was a $60,000 project, and the one before that was a $60,000 project. So there's several different reefs at the end of the city pier and the county pier. At the end of the county pier, you might remember that's where we put the jets at.
That's right. That's right.
So these are the kind of the complement of that.
Okay.
If you want to know more about our artificial reefs in the county, then you can visit our maps, and this is an example of that. And that's available at a shortcut URL or website, x.co/reefm for mobile.
Okay.
And that'll pull up on your mobile phone or on your computer, either one. And again, that's x.co/reeffm.
Okay. And the great thing about it, yeah. Okay, I got one more. All right.
Those are the as-built coordinates. If you scroll down a little bit, and you can see what I was talking about, 3 nautical miles offshore. If you go up to the very top of that coast, we can see the actual coordinate numbers, and we have those on our site where you can get to those, and plus all the other reefs. And I think we're close to over 300 public reefs at this point.
That's awesome. Yeah. You know, tie this in with Mexico Beach Association down there, and then ours. I've got a whole.
We've got some really good stuff going on with our Bay County Artificial Reef Association that's new, and then also with the Mexico Beach Artificial Reef Association. It's kind of like the big brother that kind of points the way as to what we can be as we grow up here.
Exactly.
In Bay County.
That's right, because they've been doing it a while, and they've been very helpful and all. I know
great
the folks.
people.
Yeah, they are.
In both places.
Yeah. And what I like about it, y'all are close to shore. I mean, people can go on weekends in a little Boston whaler, because we joke about that boat was one of the first boats going offshore, first small boat. Yeah. So people can, it's a weekend kind of guy, open to public.
Yes, sir. Many of those projects are coming forward, and folks can look to see new reefs here in the next 2 years or so as a result of these projects that we're talking about today.
And again, we're talking about, this is pot 1 of our restore money. Is what we're talking about now?
Right.
Still same thing.
Right. Well, out of pot 1, there is a what you saw there was a combination of with the reef program.
Right.
And so out of pot 1, the request, they're requesting some money just to continue, the effort in putting more reefs out.
Okay, this is really good stuff. Okay, we're gonna take our final break and come back. We got some more really good news for outdoorsmen coming down the line. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's do our fishing game times first before we get back with our guests. They're brought to us by Barron's Barbecue Shrimp Marinade. Our times today, 6:12 to 8:12 this morning. So you right after the show, you run out there for 2 hours and fish, and before you go to work. This evening, 6:38 to 8:38 this evening. Good time, be nice and cool, so take advantage of those times if you get a chance, okay? Back with our guests now. We're talking about, we've got some pictures here, fascinating pictures here of the past. Let's talk about the past, and let's talk about this first picture when Jeff puts it up, the St. Andrews Bay entrance channel. Tell us about this one, Bill.
Well, when they first cut the St. Andrews Bay Pass back in 1934, you can see there how it's they cut it straight through. And then in 1937, you can see the deterioration as the sand kind of washed away there.
This is fascinating. This one picture fascinated me because that's in 3 years. And we talked about this yesterday on the show. They really had to come and shore it up because they have that erosion. And what's fascinating, folks, if you look at that first picture, that halfway through, remember they chose that location because that big old pond was right there. And it saved money by digging through that pond. But the old timers told me there was some fine bass fishing back in the day.
I bet.
You could imagine, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was it. So you see how nature changes. Nature doesn't sit around.
Right.
Nature moves. Okay. Now let's go up to modern day. This East Pass experimental channel. This is when we cut it out back.
Right. 2001.
2001. Okay. And look how pretty that is. And you can see how it cleans the water. And Scott, as an ecologist and all, you understand it. I know you understand it because y'all try to explain it to us how it filters out the system and all.
Yeah, the water comes in, and there's some different techniques that might be looked at, but this is something that is important. The water quality and the water exchange is important.
Okay, and then this is a great picture here because this is what happened in just a couple of years.
Right. Yeah. That when it was first cut, December of 2001, and then the bottom picture is 2003, and it just shows the how the sand washed away and with the current. But one thing I want to point out is when it was cut, that was an experimental opening. The permission was given from Tallahassee just to open it experimentally. They would not let any maintenance be done to it, and so they wanted to see how fast it would close up. And then in that time, there was a tropical storm came through. It really accelerated it, closing up, I believe. And then also the cut was the pass was cut at a 90-degree angle to the shore, which the original pass, when it was open, was at a 45 angle.
That's right.
And so that made a huge difference, I believe, in how fast it closed up.
And you can go down the coast, look at Cape San Blas, and the erodes, how fast it erodes down there. It comes in at an angle.
Right.
We sort of that angle there. So now on the new, you think they'll be able to give permission to have jetties and all on if we do it again, or do you have any idea?
Well, that's what the study's going to show.
Okay.
The study will show, or the study will look at, whether it's a feasibility study, whether it should be open or should not be open. And it'll take in all the parameters of what the effect will be if it's opened, and whether this should be shored up or not. And so we're looking at using this money to do this, because if we don't get past step one in this, doing the study, they won't allow us to step two to get the permit to open it. Okay. So it's very important that this takes place if we want the old pass open.
Okay.
And I do. I'm a very big supporter of opening the old pass. I believe that's the lifeblood of our bay, having that seawater continually washing back and forth and cleaning out our bay. And so I'm a big supporter of it, and I believe it'll make a big difference in the life of our bay.
Yeah, I think most people I know that they're in the know and outdoorsmen and all, they're all in favor of it too. So have an idea about the timeline on any of it yet? About
well, for what we're looking at right now, there's a 45-day,
okay.
A 45-day comment period. So we need people to comment up to, I believe it's September 3rd is the last day.
Okay. And
they can comment at Bay County, go to baycountyflorida.gov and click on the Restore Act, and it will lead you through how you comment and get your thoughts in.
Okay.
And it's multiple projects at this point. It's not just.
So they can out of 50,
all the 15 of them.
They can comment on any
of
them.
So it's important to get their feedback on
all 15 projects. That's right.
Okay. And if everything goes through, then do you have an idea about the timeline on the pass? The study, how long the study will take? It a 6-month study? Or?
No, looking at a year to year and a half right now.
Okay.
Now there's different possibilities of who's going to do that study. We have had conversation with the Corps of Engineers to actually be the one to do the study. Now, because they would be one of the permit holders on the back end of this,
right.
We think it would be smart to partner with them and have them do the study, because that would accelerate the process, we would hope.
Okay. That sounds good. Now, we've got some other stuff going on with the county too. Tell us what about Cherokee and some good news here. Okay.
Well, just wanted to let people know that we're looking at the possibility of purchasing Cherokee Landing. Right there off of 2301. It's up for sale right now, and so we're doing our due diligence to look at that property and see if it's something that we want to buy for a park. It's looking good right now. Things are leaning in that direction if the numbers come back correctly. but to use that boat ramp as a county boat ramp in a small county park.
Yeah, that's a win-win situation to me. I mean, that's
Yeah.
great. We have a great one at the High Point Landing down there, and then that just on the other end of the lake. We start having some bass tournaments up there too.
That would be great.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, and what else we got?
Well, we're also looking at the possibility. This is very preliminary right now, but we do recognize that we need to work there at Econfina Creek and 388, where Econfina crosses 388, where the kayakers and the canoers get out of the water. We need to do something with that area to make it a lot better, make it safer, make it a lot more user-friendly.
Yeah.
Right now, there's nothing there. It's just the right-of-way, and it's very, it just needs a lot of improvement. So we're looking at that.
Yeah, what we could almost call that, I get tickled sometimes, you almost call that a slip and slide landing, because when people are getting out, it's tough. So the county does recognize that and be able to do something about that. Again, that's a win-win situation. So, that's what we bless folks here in the Florida Panhandle, because I know a lot of county commissioners throughout the Panhandle, all 9 counties we service. A lot of county commissioners are outdoorsmen and have an appreciation of outdoorsmen.
Right.
Now, the whole county commission is not, but there's always some on the county commission that do it. And Bill's one of these, and he's always, I know the other counties have the same thing. So this is good stuff, and we appreciate doing it.
Thank you.
Scott, now, what's the biggest job you got ahead of you the rest of this summer and fall?
Continue to work on these artificial reef projects. We've been doing that for the last 2 years with the opportunity that we have with the monies that are available, and we're following up on those. So those are one of the main things. And then we've got that really good project that we're doing with San Andrews Resource Management Association and the Baywatch people with the grasses and classes program, and we're working on year number 2. The first year that we've had the funding from U.S. Fish and Wildlife, we've been able to do a really nice demonstration project at river camps, and so hope to build and expand on
we're just
that.
going to expand on that. Again, that's a win for everybody out there too. The kids are learning how to do it, and it's
and
great.
then we got really good examples for property owners and homeowners to use as their reference point too.
All right, good stuff. Well, this again, we appreciate folks in this position helping out like this. Thank y'all for coming on this morning.
You're welcome. Good to be here.
Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. Now do something good for your fellow man today. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.